Can you orient the jury as to what's captured in this frame?
This is the side bed, the registers, magazine rack, the rest of the storage back over here.
And is this the same area that was captured in clip number 1 of this second transaction?
Yes.
Can you note the time there, Mr. Britton?
2 minutes and 30 seconds into the video.
If you could note the time, Mr. Britton.
3 minutes and 7 seconds into the video.
Okay, and do you see the same person in the black hooded jacket and jeans that you've seen in the other clips?
Yes, sir.
Did you note the time on Mr. Britton?
5 minutes and 11 seconds into the video.
Mr. Britton, I don't have any further questions. If you want to Mr.
Good afternoon.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry, I have some questions for you. I apologize. I hope you're doing all right this afternoon.
I am. How about yourself?
Just to kind of summarize, the first transaction, that was around 7:30 in the morning. Is that right?
I believe so.
That was a map that was purchased by the person wearing black.
Right.
And that was paid for with cash.
Yes, sir.
And then the second transaction was about 15 minutes later, around 7:45. Is that right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
And that same person came back with that same map and returned it,
Right.
and got a different map. Is that right?
Yes, sir. An atlas.
And that second purchase was paid for with a credit card. Is that right?
Yes.
Is it fair to say that someone who returns a map either doesn't know where he's going or doesn't know where he is? Now, Lieutenant Critcher, that's who you had contact with here in Granville County. Is that correct?
I don't remember who it was.
But whoever it was, you pulled this data for him. Is that correct?
Yes.
And on that second transaction, you were able to pull what you thought was the credit card that was used, weren't you?
You mean you're talking about the information of the card? And
Yes,
stuff?
or the card's number.
I don't remember if we did that or not.
I'm going to approach. United States and March 1450. And 60. Mr. Britton, I'm handing you what's been marked as defendants Exhibit 14.
Okay.
Is that an email that you sent to Lieutenant Critcher?
Yes, sir, it is.
And in it, you said that you were providing him credit card information for the transaction.
Okay.
Is that correct?
Yes.
And I'm handing you what's been marked as defendants Exhibit 15.
Yes.
Is that the credit card information that you provided him?
I believe so. That's in our format.
And does it include the card number that you provided him at the bottom?
Oh, yes.
And was the card number for that transaction 4941-5926-0583 5743?
I don't remember that.
But is that what
That's what's on the paper
that you
yes.
provided to Lieutenant Critcher?
Mm-hmm.
I can approach the clerk. Right, Brooks, this was been marked Exhibit 115A. States Exhibit 115A. I know you've not seen this wall before. It was previously entered into evidence as Exhibit 115A. And there's a credit card in that wallet with the number 4856 7190 0019 0225. Is that correct?
Yes.
And that's a different credit card number than was on this transaction that was associated with this purchase.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes.
So it wasn't this credit card that was used to make that transaction?
Apparently not.
Now, Mr. Britton, I assume you don't work at this Sheets all the time, is that right?
I go to the different stores.
But this isn't like a store you work at necessarily every day or anything.
No, sir.
There's a number of stores that you manage these kind of issues.
Right.
So if that view we had of the pumps, it's just right across the street there back in 2015 was a Kangaroo, you wouldn't necessarily know that.
I know there's something over there, but
it's not like a place you go every single day that you would know. And I think when the state asked you, you said you didn't know if there was a Kangaroo in that area.
right.
Now, but the camera that we saw of the parking lot, I mean, it only captured a portion of the parking lot. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And like, for example, I think in that last video we saw of the parking lot, you kind of see a little piece of a white car, pull into the shop, but you couldn't see that car the whole time, could you?
No, sir.
So it was there for that period of time. Even though we couldn't see it, it was off screen.
Right.
Is that correct? That's all I have. Thank you for your time, sir.
I don't have any questions. I'd ask Mr. Britton to be excused from Mr. Dinkley.
Yes, sir, Your Honor. The state would call Michelle Green. Will you please state your name for the court?
Michelle Green.
Ma'am, where do you work?
I work at BB&T Bank.
What is your job title?
I'm a senior corporate investigator with BB&T Corporate Investigations.
And what does that mean? What do you do?
We handle any fraud cases involving BB&T Bank.
When you say fraud cases, what does that mean?
We actually partner with law enforcement, check fraud, anything like that, counterfeit checks, credit card, anything.
How long have you been with BB&T Corporate Investigations?
14 years.
And where is your main office?
I'm in Wilson, North Carolina.
Do you cover accounts from Oxford?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you cover or do you investigate allegations of fraud with credit cards?
Yes, I do.
Were you contacted on or about January the 1st about credit card activity on the account of Jerome Faulkner?
I was.
And by whom were you contacted?
The regional manager, being that we partner with law enforcement, it was, of course, New Year's, and the bank was closed. The regional manager contacted me at BB&T and stated that law enforcement needed assistance with a missing person case.
And when you say you partner with law enforcement, what do you mean by that?
We will assist.
In cases such as a missing person, do you determine that is exigent circumstances or something that needs immediate attention?
That is correct.
And is that why you were involved on that particular day?
Yes, ma'am.
What happened?
I proceeded to, once the regional manager alerted me of the missing person, I asked that he have the Granville County Sheriff's Office contact me directly.
And did that happen?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you remember when?
It would have been that day. This was at 5:30. It would have been either that day or the next morning, I'll say. I do know that the point that I spoke with them, it went from a missing persons to a different type of investigation.
Was it then considered a homicide investigation?
Yes, ma'am.
And this was after 5:30 p.m. on January the 1st?
I can't. It was either after 5:30 that day or the next morning, one or the other.
And so at some point, did you run the credit card of Jerome Faulkner?
What I proceeded to do when I returned to work, because I was actually out of work at that time. When I proceeded back to work on Monday, I did a request to our investigative analyst, who then pulled that information for me.
And do you do that by virtue of your job?
Yes, ma'am.
And you have access to such records?
I do.
And are you familiar with the way records are prepared and kept in your business, specifically BB&T?
Yes, ma'am.
And please describe the manner in which these records are kept.
The records are kept electronically, and we can retain those for up to 5 to 7 years, depending.
Are the records made at or near the time that the circumstances, meaning the actual transaction for which the credit card is used, is it the record made for that at or near the time that transaction occurs?
Yes, ma'am.
And who makes that record?
We have a credit card processing system, and it retains that record. But when a person goes to a merchant and swipes their card, it goes directly into an electronic file to BB&T.
So the record is actually made once a credit card is either, I guess at that time, it was swiped into a credit card machine. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Does that swiping then send that information from the cash register or the place where it's swiped to BB&T?
That is correct.
And is it recorded at that specific time?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you or anyone else have personal knowledge of the transaction that was recorded?
The only thing that I have knowledge of is the actual transaction history. That is it. And that just shows the location and so forth, the amount and the date and time.
Are these records made and kept in the regular course of business?
Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, if I may approach. Ms. Green, I'm showing you what's been marked as State's Exhibits 324 and 325. Specifically, 324 first. Do you recognize this?
I do.
And what is it?
This is a current transaction summary, and basically it shows you the posting date, the transaction date, a description of where the actual transaction took place, and the amount.
And is this what you, are these the records that are kept in the regular course of business by BB&T?
Yes, ma'am.
And so when a credit card is swiped, is this what it makes for a particular account?
Yes, ma'am.
Ask you this, is that what you ran on January the 5th when you were running the information for Jerome Faulkner?
Yes, ma'am.
And is this the information that you got?
Yes.
Your Honor, the state would move to admit State's Exhibit 324 into evidence.
No. Motion.
Permission to publish?
Yes, ma'am.
I would draw your attention to the screen. If you can point out where the account number is located on this.
The account number is the second set of numbers here. Ending in 0225, I believe. Right. That is your account number.
And can you read that?
It's kind of distorted. Let me see if I can see it. Can I look at this?
Yeah.
Okay. It looks like 485671900001.
What's contained in State's Exhibit 115A? Can you tell what is that?
That is a Visa, a BB&T Visa credit card.
And who is it in the name of?
Jerome T. Faulkner,
And what is the account number?
4856.
Your attention to the bottom part of State's Exhibit 324. I believe there is an area on there that seems to be highlighted in a like a black border.
Yes.
What is that?
That is the activity requested during the time frame. We're looking at transactions that occurred. If you look at the posting date, that's when it actually posted on the account statement. Your transaction date is when it was actually transacted, what day. And then, of course, the description is, in some cases, it'll give you like the store number, like it tells you sheets up there. Actually, let's look at Walmart, number 1579 in Oxford, for the amount of $239.42.
And what date was that transaction?
That was on 1/1.
And the next transaction?
Shell Oil for $23.20, and that was on 1/1 as well.
And is there an entry for the Kangaroo Express?
Yes, that is for $59.48, and that occurred on 1/1 as well.
And in what town is that?
South Boston, Virginia, for the Shell and the Kangaroo Express, the Walmart in Oxford.
Ms. Green, the sheets that's outside of this border, what date was that?
That was on 12/12. That would have been activity more than likely done by the client.
So before you were asked to look at anything.
That is correct.
And drawing your attention to State's Exhibit, if I may approach, 325. If you can take a look at that and explain to me, you'll have to look here first.
Okay.
Explain to me what that is.
Okay, when you do the current transaction history that we're looking at now, it doesn't have a time. So we had to refer to a daily activity report. That daily activity report would then show us the time of the transactions.
And are these, what's recorded on the daily activity report, is that made and kept in the regular course of business?
Yes, ma'am.
The same that you described for State's Exhibit number 324?
Yes.
Your Honor, the state would move to admit State's Exhibit 325 into evidence.
Judge? No, sir.
And I would ask to publish it. And Ms. Green, I know that this is also distorted. If you can refer to both and tell the jury what they're looking at.
Okay. The first set of numbers that is very distorted, that is the credit card number. The amounts there, like the let me split my copy. It's probably a little bit better. $239.42, that's Walmart. And it shows at 0001, that'd be like 1 minute after midnight down here.
On January the 1st?
January the 1st.
Okay.
The next one is kind of distorted. The gas purchases, you'll often see, like the Shell is your next transaction. It's further down. It says Shell Oil. It'll show $1. A lot of times when you go to a gas pump, it'll hold $1 as a pre-authorization. And then maybe later on that night, after midnight or the next day, it'll come through as the total charge. So on this particular report, it's only going to show me like the pre-auth, which was $1 at Shell Oil.
And what time was that?
That was done at, looks like 6:06. It looks like 6:06. I can't really tell. It's kind of small.
And for Kangaroo Express?
It looks like 7:27.
And are those the ones that run South Boston?
Yes, ma'am.
And is that the same dollar amount, the authorization, because it was used at the gas pump?
Yes, that is correct.
Why is it whited out above and below these transactions?
The daily transaction activity or daily they call authorization activity has other client accounts, so we deleted that out.
So that doesn't have anything to do with Mr. Farmer's?
No, it doesn't pertain to Mr. Faulkner and Mrs. Faulkner. No.
Thank you, ma'am. I don't have anything further.
Thank you. Just so I can be clear, I think I understood everything you said, but during the period that you looked at, starting on January 1st, 2015 at 12:01 in the morning, there was 3 times that card was used. Is that right?
That is correct.
And that was at Walmart in Oxford, and a Shell and a Kangaroo. Is that right?
That is correct.
And there was no other suspicious transactions you found, right?
No.
No further questions. Thank you.
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Thank you, ma'am. You stand there.
The state would ask Ms. Green be released from her subpoena.
You need that? No, sir. Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, sir, Your Honor. The state would recall Brian Minshew.
Sheriff Minshew remains bound by his oath to tell the truth that he took this money.
Your Honor, may I approach the witness?
Yes, ma'am.
Detective Minshew, I'm showing you what's been marked as State's Exhibit number 326. Do you recognize that, sir?
Yes.
And what is it?
This is a projectile bullet that was collected from Jerome Faulkner's body.
And how do you know that?
This is what I collected from the medical examiner.
And is it in a different form than what you collected from the medical examiner?
Yes, it's in different packaging.
And is there a package inside of this outside package that is marked with markings from the medical examiner's office?
Yes.
And what does it say?
It says Jerome Faulkner, bullet from thigh.
I'm sorry?
Jerome Faulkner, bullet from thigh.
And is that how you collected it from the medical examiner on January the 5th of 2015?
Yes, it is.
And inside of that inner package, what appears to be a white envelope, is there the bullet that you talked about inside an outer package?
Yes.
Was that inside this white package as best you know when you collected it from the medical examiner?
Yes.
And what did you do with that when you collected it?
I came back to the sheriff's office and entered it into evidence.
And did it remain there except for when it went to what appears to be the North Carolina State Crime Lab?
Yes.
And has it been in the care, custody, and control of the Graham County Sheriff's Office since then?
Yes.
Your Honor, the state would move to introduce States 326. I don't have anything further.
Thanks, sir. For this afternoon.
Your Honor, I think we're at a good stopping point. We don't have another witness that we could get on and off inside the hour.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take our evening or our weekend recess for you. During our recess period, it is your duty not to talk among yourselves about this case. Duty not to talk to anyone else. Not to allow anyone else to talk with you or to say anything in your presence about this case. If anyone begins to comment or something like that, stop them right away. Anyone communicates with you in any way about this case, you provided any information all about this case from whatever source, you let the sheriff know about it when you come in Monday morning. Don't do any individual research or investigation on your own without any issue touching on this trial.